Welcome to this special online training event. I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to join me. And I think your business financials are going to thank you for making the time for this training. But they're only going to thank you if you actually pay attention to what I have to cover. So now is a good time to close out of your Facebook page, close out of Twitter. Don't worry, all those tweets will be there when we get done. Shut down your Skype and Messenger and close out of your email. Put your phone away as well. If you want this training to be effective, you need to give it your full attention. If you don't give it much attention, don't expect back much in return. Fair enough? Okay, here's what we're going to cover in this training. This training is all about getting your virtual endorsement from Google so you can get new customers from the internet. With that being said, let me start off by giving you a bold promise about this training. I'm going to walk you through step by step the exact things you absolutely need to be doing today to get your virtual endorsement from Google so you can get new customers from the internet. I'm not talking about creating a website and having a web presence. I'm talking about showing up in the search when new customers are searching for a business just like yours. I'm talking about you getting 8, 10, 15, even 25 calls every single week, all because Google has virtually endorsed you instead of your competitor. I'm even going to show you how a couple of entrepreneurs are getting anywhere from 60 to 100 calls per month from these exact strategies. This will deliver prospects that are actively searching for your services. And when someone is actively searching for you, they come in pre-sold. You don't need to convince them that your service is right for them. You'll also realize that none of your competitors are doing this stuff, unless they've already seen this training. These are high-level strategies that will allow you to dominate your area. Now, let me be real transparent with you as well. I'm not going to try and convince you that you need to be using these strategies. The truth is, you either see the monumental shift that's happening online, or you don't. I refuse to sell you on the idea that the internet is evolving, and that your business must evolve as well if you want to thrive. But you have to know how to play by Google's rules or you risk getting buried. Here's how my trainings work. I deliver 100% content when I do my trainings. I tell you exactly what you need to do, so when this training is over, you can go out and take immediate action. Without action, all of this is just useless information. Google won't give you an endorsement without some work. But once this training is done, you'll have everything you need to get new customers from the internet and put more money in your bank account. You'll see exactly what I do for my new customer blueprint members, and you can literally copy and paste what I show you. Here's what I know. 10% of the people on this training will do everything I show them, and they'll do a phenomenal job and increase their customer base. 10% will have me do everything for them, and of course, you'll see a serious increase in your income, and you'll have a lot more free time to enjoy your family and the things you love. Here's the sad stat. 80% of the people on this training will do absolutely nothing, and nothing will change for them. I just pray you're not in that 80%. I want things to change for you. I want your business to grow. I want your bank account to grow. I want you to have more time with your family because your business is attracting customers from the internet on autopilot, all because you got the virtual Google endorsement. That's why I share everything with you. I don't want to keep the secrets to myself and only share with someone who pays me money. I know some gurus will give you a great sales pitch and make you an offer to buy their program that'll teach you all the secrets. I share it all for free and only make money when you want me to do it all for you. But whatever you choose, it's your choice. We all make the choice that fits us best and whether or not you want to listen to what I have to say. If you've been with me for a while or on another one of my trainings, you can block out the next 60 seconds. My story hasn't changed. My name is Matt Barron. I live in Chicago, Illinois, formerly Detroit, Michigan. I'm a full-time internet marketer, and I love helping local businesses increase their business by getting ranked on Google. I graduated with an MBA from Michigan State several years ago, and upon receiving my graduate degree, I began working for the banking industry with the dreams of rising to the top and making millions. In comes my rude awakening. I found out in a hurry that no matter how many hours of overtime I put into my work, it never benefited anyone else but my boss's bottom line. Then about a year ago, my interest in internet marketing came to fruition as I offered to help a friend starting a new business get ranked on Google. That's when I figured it was time to get in gear and figure out this customer-based building thing. After checking out lots of different consultants and gurus, I stumbled across Dan Kennedy. And if you're familiar with Dan, you know he's the real thing. He is the guru to gurus. So I started following Dan's recommendations about getting new customers, retaining customers, and getting customers to spend more with me. That sounds like a typical pay and stay and refer, right? And it worked. My friend, within 6 months, he had a 7-figure business. And listen to this. He was doing it in a small town of only 4,200 people. 6 months later, he opened up a second office about 20 miles away, and it was profitable in the first 90 days. I knew if I could do it for a local business in a competitive market, I could do it for businesses in big and small cities as well. Flash forward a few years, and I now do consulting for a handful of entrepreneurs when it comes to new business generation. So that's me. Let's get rolling. I put a couple slides together because I want to make sure you understand what's happened in the last few years, and more importantly, what's about to happen over the next 12 months. Because most entrepreneurs didn't see any of this happen, and they certainly don't know what's about to hit them square in the face when it comes to getting new business in the future. Television, magazines, radio, newspaper. They've all plummeted by double digits in the last few years. And I think most business owners realize that the market has gone online. The problem is, most can't figure out how to get a return online. It's a very difficult thing if you don't know what you're doing and you don't keep up with the constant changes. So how do you make a splash online when it comes to getting new customers? The first thing you need to look at is what kind of marketing do you want to do? I'm going to tell you the easiest and most effective marketing you can do, and that's inbound marketing. Inbound marketing is attracting someone that's already looking for you. Compare that to outbound marketing. Outbound marketing is going out, soliciting someone, and trying to convince them that they need your service. Which one do you think is more effective and more efficient? Yeah, inbound marketing. When someone is already looking for you, and they already want what you have, you just simply show up where they're looking and look better than your competitor when they find you. Pretty easy, right? Show up when your prospective customers are looking and get them to choose you over your competitor. That's it, folks. That's the training. I'm just kidding. That's not the end, but that's what I'm going to show you. And if you're asking yourself, why Google? And how do I get a virtual endorsement from Google? Here's why, and here's how. Google gets over 66% of all searches on the internet, and Google is putting a crazy amount of emphasis on local businesses. That's you. And even more, Yahoo, who is a very distant second in the search race, recently said they weren't going to challenge Google for local businesses. Now, how do you get a virtual endorsement? It's simple. Show up number one in a Google search. Results of a survey. And you'll notice that all these strategies are based on stats. I'm pretty opinionated, but opinions won't make you more money, only results. So I base all my strategies around results. So look at this. People were asked, does seeing a company listed at the top of a search make you think that company is a leader in its field? 39% of those people said yes. Being number one gives you more credibility. And how do you go about getting to number one spot in Google? And I'm talking about Google on a local basis. You're a local business and you don't need to worry about anything outside of your local drawing area. There's really three ways, because there's 3 number ones in a Google local search. You can buy your way to number one, and you can do that by using pay-per-click ads. That's the listing you see at the top and the right-hand side of the search. And here's the status on that spot. If you show up here, you get 11% of all the clicks from any given search. If you have 1,000 customers a month searching for a business like yours in your town, 110 of those people will click on this top paid ad. It's a pretty good number, right? You also pay every time someone clicks on that ad. The other 2 number ones, you have to work your way to it. Now let me explain those other 2 types. One is your traditional organic listing in Google. That's a non-paid listing. The business with the best SEO wins. And if you're not familiar with SEO, it stands for Search Engine Optimization. It simply means that when someone shows up for a term on the internet, the best SEO wins, and you show up at the top of Google Organic. Now if you show up there, you get about 3% of the clicks. That's the result you see midway down below the map. That's not a very big number, especially with the amount of work it takes to get there. That's the old way of ranking in Google for local businesses. Want to see the final number that beats them both? This way of ranking number one is more powerful than the first 2 ways combined. And I'm not talking about by a little. I'm talking about by a mile. It blows them both away. This used to be Google Maps, and then it changed to Google Places. Now it's Google Plus Local. And it's currently changing to Google Places for Business. You really got to keep up with Google. But statistically speaking, if you're in the top listings in Google Plus Local, your business grows, because you get 39% of all that business. Now that's a statistical fact. So take a look at the screen right now and tell me, where do you want to be listed? Do you want to have the number one website listed in SEO? That's what every other company is going to do for you. Now does that make any sense? Do you want to be listed number one in the paid listings? It can actually be a good spot. You can use paid listings to get more clicks and scale your efforts. But let's be really clear where you want to be. You want to be the number one spot in Google Plus Local. That's the map. And like I mentioned earlier, when you're number one, that's like Google endorsing you, because you have prospects that feel like you're the best business in your city. That means you have instant credibility. Now listen real close. I don't care how good you are at Facebook, Twitter, or any other social media. And I don't care how good your website and blogging are. You will never beat Google Plus Local Search for inbound marketing. Everybody's eyes are. Do you see this? It's that sunburst area where people are looking. the number one spot on Google Plus Local, and they're looking at Google Plus Local listings. I'll ask you again, where do you want to be? Do you want to be down there with all the websites, or do you want to be up there with Google Plus Local? Now, do you see how clear this is and why Google Plus Local is a huge shift in the marketplace for your business? This shift actually started about 3 years ago and has evolved and is only getting bigger. The business owners that started with me 3 years ago can't be touched by their competitors. And understand this, Google Plus Local is a local marketing strategy, not a national or global strategy. Just about everyone else is trying to get your website ranked, and they don't even know that your Google Plus Local page has 20 times the value. They're stuck on outdated ranking that doesn't work in the local marketing landscape. So here's what it looks like. If you want your phone ringing, you need to be in the top spot in Google Plus Local because you get 39% of the clicks from a search. That's more than all organic and paid search combined. Where do you want to be again? Number one in Google Plus Local. And before we go any further, I want to answer a question for some reason I still get. Are new customers really turning to the internet to find a local business? I'm surprised I still get that question, but I do. So let me jump off my slides and take you on the internet. This will probably blow you away when you see this. I bet you want to know how to get to number one in Google Plus Local, don't you? Well, you're in the right place. That's what this is about. So here's your strategy. This is the insider knowledge. Step 1. You need to go claim your Google Plus Local listing. Google is the biggest aggregator of information on the planet, and what they've done is they've given you a listing on Google Plus Local absolutely free of charge. So you need to go to Google and claim that listing. Now this is the type of listing that has been around for the last year and a half. Google is converting this type of listing into this one. This is the new Google Places for Business, but not everyone is converted over yet. It will probably still be several more months. Next, you need to start out with a good foundational keyword analysis and competitive research. This is what I was just talking about when it comes to finding the keywords your customers are actually searching for in your area. Don't always think these words you use are the words your prospect use, because most of the time, they're not. So when you do keyword research, and you actually look at the words, you can combine different keywords together so you can rank, not just for 1 or 2 keywords, but for 5, even 10 keywords in Google Plus Local. Keyword research is the most vital part of this entire process. If you screw that part up, you can do all the other work I'm going to show you, and it won't work like it's supposed to. Take the time and make sure you get your keyword research done correctly. It's time consuming and it takes work, but it's worth it. You only have to do it once, and I can't stress that enough. I highly recommend you pay a service to do this. I don't do it myself, I pay someone else to do it. It's not a great use of my time. I can pay someone $100 and they'll do a crazy good job. If you want my resource on this, shoot me an email and I'll give you the details so they can do yours as well. Now let's talk competitive research. In competitive research, sometimes it's not about what you do, it's about just doing more than what your competitors are doing. So knowing what your competitors are doing is vital for knowing how to dominate them. If you have everything they have, then just do 20% more, you'll crush them. I have a resource for this as well. And to be really honest, I don't physically do any of this actual legwork that I'm showing you. I simply know the strategy that works. I keep up with the changes Google makes, and I hire people that are good in each of these individual strategies. It takes a lot of time and energy for this all to happen. If this is your Google Plus Local listing, the next thing you want to do is optimize your business website. You take the keywords that you discovered in your research and you carefully craft them into the words on your website. That way, your website is relevant to your content that your prospect is looking for. Google wants to see relevant keywords on your website that are attached to your Google Plus Local listing. And you don't want to try to cram all your keywords onto your homepage. Just make sure that top few keywords and some of your secondary keywords are on your homepage. Optimization should also include your title tags, meta tags, a sitemap, etc. Now let me show you what Google does. Now this is Google, and this is part of how they determine where you rank and when someone searches for one of your keywords. Google goes into your Google Plus Local listing, and it looks at your name, your address, and your phone number. And you also put your website in the listing. So what does it do? It grabs your URL and goes to your website. It looks around for a keyword. It sees the keyword here and it says, okay, there's a keyword. This listing matches what we're looking for. Now you have a chance of getting promoted to the top. That's the first thing that happens. Any aha moments here about Google and why some local businesses rank and others don't? It's because they haven't claimed their listing and they haven't optimized their website. Now before we go any further, I should teach you 3 phrases. This is real important. First phrase, on-page optimization. When I say that, I'm simply talking about the words on the page. On the Google Plus Local page and the words on the pages of your website. It's the words on the page. When I say off-page optimization, I'm talking about anything that we optimize that's not on the page. Off-page optimization are all the things related to your website and Google Plus local listing that affect the rankings. This includes backlinks. So when I say on-page optimization, those are the words on the page. Off-page optimization is basically everything else. Now, I've got one more term I want you to know. It's the foundation of all Google Plus local pages. It's called a citation. A citation is simply the name, address, and phone number on your Google Plus local listing. So it's your company name, your company address, and company phone number, line for line, word for word, dot for dot. Don't ever mess it up. So when I say the word citation, that means the name, address, and phone number. I'll give you a quick backdrop on this. If you're new to SEO, the way most people try to rank in Google is they try to get more backlinks than the next guy. And a backlink is simply a link from another website to your website. It's like a vote. If you have 1,000 backlinks, you have 1,000 votes. And if your competition has 100 backlinks to their site, they only have 100 votes. If you have 1,000 and they have 100, you win. You rank higher than most of them most of the time. If your competition is 2,000 and you only have 1,000, then your competition ranks higher. There are also high-quality backlinks that are worth more, so it's not always about the number of backlinks, but also the power and quality of the backlink. In Google Plus Local, there are no backlinks. Google Plus Local uses your citation as votes. So what Google does is Google looks all over the internet for your name, address, and phone number in this order. And when it sees your name, address, and phone number in Bing, in Yahoo, in City Search, Yellow Pages, there's hundreds of other places, Google counts it just like the backlink for your Google Plus local listing. So the more citations you have out there, the more Google is looking at your listing as an authority because it sees your Google Plus local listing citation everywhere. Does that make sense? So when Google goes to your Google Plus local listing, does it see your top keywords on the listing? That's your first and on-page optimization. Does Google see lots of citations in the main local listing sites? Those are votes for your listing. Then Google goes to your website. Do they see your keywords on the homepage? And then Google looks for those backlinks. Do you have more backlinks than your competitor? And do you think you have high-quality backlinks from other authority sites? And do you have relative backlinks? Can you see why my members continue to dominate the top spot in Google Plus Local? Very few people know these strategies. And that's just the tip of the iceberg why some local businesses rank and some don't. The next thing you want to do is optimize your local directories. Now when I say local directory, I'm talking about Bing, Yahoo, City Search, Yellow Pages, and a whole bunch of others as well. Because Google is looking for that citation. So you take all the information exactly the way you have it for Google, and you put it in all these local directories. It's the same information. And as a nice bonus, you can often get these local directories ranked on the first page of Google. The additional clicks to your info, it's just a bonus. So let's take a look at what Google does again. Google goes into a local directory and sees your name, address, and phone number. And it says, okay, name, address, and phone number. That's a match. We connect them, that's an authority. What else do you have in these local directories? They ask for your website. So you put your web address in there, and Google goes and takes a look around your website and says, I see the words there, I see keywords there, and I see keywords there. Let's look for backlinks. Okay, there's a backlink, and there's a backlink. There's another backlink. Okay, name, address, and phone number. Let's go here. Do you see what we're doing? Everywhere Google goes, we're putting them in a headlock, and we're forcing them to see how good you are. We're really just treating Google like a VIP customer. We're giving them a first-class content experience, and in return, they'll promote you to the top, giving you that coveted virtual endorsement so you can get more new customers. And let me explain what a first-class content experience is, because the next thing you want to do is video marketing. Do you know how many videos Google gives you that you can use inside your listing? And I should mention that this part is changing right now. The new Google Places for Business doesn't ask for videos exactly like this. But in the old listing, you get 5 videos. So we don't do 1 video, we don't do 2 videos, we do 5. Google sees a tremendous amount of content, and Google loves content. What Google loves is relevant content. So you want to make sure you use your keywords properly to optimize your videos as well. Because Google will do the same thing again. They'll find the video, and they'll look for the citation, the name, address, and phone number. You'll also put your website in the description, so Google will go and look at your website for a match. They'll see your keywords, then they'll look for backlinks. When all that looks good, they see you as an authority, and they rank higher. And you should put all your videos on your own YouTube channel. Google owns YouTube, and YouTube has a high PR rank, so it's an authority site. Having links from those authority sites will get you ranked better, and Google will find them much easier as well. You can get your own YouTube channel for free as well. The easiest and best videos to use are your listings, are the customer testimonials you get. You can start getting them today and putting them in your listing. I do have another tutorial about how to optimize your videos for local search. Shoot me an email if you want it. Then you move on and you have pictures. And picture marketing is the same as video marketing, but you get 10 pictures. So you don't just use 1 or 2, use all 10. And make sure you optimize your pictures before you upload them to your listing. You want the title of the picture to reflect your keywords and categories in your Google Plus local listing. And yes, I have a tutorial for this as well. Now, after you've got that set up, you move on to what's becoming a very important part of this entire process, online reviews. And I'm going to spend a decent amount of time on reviews. I can't tell you how important they can be for your practice. You can do all the other things right, and if you mess up on reviews, good luck getting people to call, even if you rank well. A question. Would you buy a product or service that had bad ratings and reviews? Probably not, right? Because nobody wants to have that same bad experience. So we always look at reviews as the indicator of how we might experience that product or service. But here's the most important question. 2 products are identical, one has 10 good reviews, the other has 3 good reviews, but 1 bad one. Which one do you buy? Pretty obvious, it's the one with 10 good reviews. And why is that? Because you want to have a great experience and you're looking to make sure that a company is consistent with delivering that experience with the product or service. So, this is what consumers do every single day. They go online and they're looking to find the most reputable company to do business with. And bad reviews will send that prospect from your online listing to your competitor. So, that's the difference between your phone ringing or your competitor's phone ringing. So we know what can happen with a negative reputation, but let's talk about some positive things. First of all, reviews send you pre-qualified, pre-sold customers because buyers trust reviews nearly as much as personal recommendations. So reviews can be incredibly bad for you if they're bad, but they can be incredibly good for you if they're good. And let's look at that stat that came from Bright Local. 72% of buyers trust reviews as much as personal recommendations. Now, if I was to ask 100 different companies, and let me just ask you, would you like to create a marketing plan around people that you don't know, don't like you, don't trust you, and are always worried about price? Or would you rather create a marketing plan around people that know you, people that like you, people that trust you, and they're all referrals? Of course, you want to create a referral plan. Well, for the first time, your external marketing can be just as powerful as referral marketing, because 3 out of 4 people trust reviews just as much as personal recommendations. So, you need those 5-star reviews on your website, you need 5-star reviews on your listings. That's as good as someone's mother saying, you should go to this business. That's as good as someone's best friend saying, you know what, I should see this mechanic. I used him and it was amazing. And it's just as good as a colleague at work saying, look, if you need a dentist, you should go to Dr. Jones. He does a great job. 72% of buyers trust reviews just as much as personal recommendations. And I want to go even deeper on this fact because this is a big game changer online. Nielsen's Ratings, one of the top rating companies in the world, they did a survey and said, look, when it comes to the extent that you trust different forms of advertising, which one do you trust? 92% of people trusted recommendations from people they know. We pretty much expected that, right? But here's the big one. Look at the one right under that. 70% trust opinions based on online reviews. This is huge. Even better, look at this. They actually trust consumer opinions posted online more than an editorial newspaper or article. You could actually have a newspaper article written about you, and people will not trust it as much as an online review. So you can see here all the evidence points to how important these reviews are. So if you're going to do any type of marketing with your business, it shouldn't start with the type of marketing that people don't trust, like TV ads at 47%, or email marketing at 50%, or even branded website marketing at 58%. It should start with the top 2 recommendations from people that people know, and consumer opinions posted online. How about another reason why reviews are so vital to your business? Because customers look up an average of 10 reviews before making a decision. So all these consumers are online, and they're looking for reviews. More importantly, they're looking at multiple reviews, not just 1 or 2, and this stat tells you something. This is the secret mystery of how many reviews you actually need to be credible. Well, here it is. 70% of consumers trust a business with a minimum of 6 to 10 reviews. So you can see here that if customers are looking for 6 to 10 reviews, you need to have at least 10 reviews. So you're not credible without 5-star reviews and a minimum of 10 reviews. This is the difference between your phone ringing and it not ringing. Even worse, this is the difference between your phone not ringing and your competitor's phone ringing instead. Here's the biggest problem with getting reviews on Google. It's not that a few of your customers wouldn't be more than happy going over to your listing and giving you a positive review. The problem is getting those reviews to stick. Google has gone through so many changes over the last several months that reviews are getting removed, and they're getting marked as spam, and they're not showing up. So here's the quick and dirty way to get your reviews approved so they show up and stick. Don't post them from your business unless you're using what's called an IP switching software. When Google sees more than one review coming in from the same IP address, they'll more than likely mark it as spam and it'll never see the light of day. You used to be able to have customers post reviews from your office and be just fine. Not anymore. Another rule: if your customer doesn't have a Google account that they use on a regular basis, and they set up a new one just to post the review, that review will probably get marked as spam. Make sure they use the account and post reviews to some other businesses as well. If you post reviews for several businesses over the course of a few weeks, they'll stick better. And another rule of thumb you want to follow is not getting too many reviews all at once. I know, that's crazy. You try and tell your customers to go give you a review, and when Google sees a lot of reviews coming in all at once, they see it as spam and delete them. I told you at the beginning, you need to play by Google's rules. I shoot for 1 review per week from Google for my new customer Blueprint members. Don't try and slam your way to the top of Google Plus Local. Take your time and do these things right. Another way to market reviews is on your website. Do you have reviews on the front page of your website right now? So when someone shows up at your website, they're converted quickly by having that undeniable social proof that I've been talking about. What about social media? Everyone talks about social media, but no one really uses it to convert prospects into customers, until now. Because when you're using reputation marketing in your social media, it's incredibly powerful. And then you have in-office marketing. You can literally double your closing rates by having reviews and testimonials posted through your entire office. Just imagine a new customer walking into your office and seeing happy reviews everywhere they look. Remember, statistically speaking, that's nearly as powerful as having their best friend, family member, or colleague at work recommending your service to that customer. So you're going to be able to convert a lot more prospects if you have great reviews. I could talk about social proof and conversions for hours. Next thing you want to backlink 3 areas: your videos, your website, and your top local directories. When it comes to backlinking, I like to use article marketing as a primary source for backlinks. So you can simply write original content that is relevant to your keywords, and you submit it to thousands of article directories and blogs on the internet. When they get accepted, you get a backlink. Just make sure your content is original and relevant. Another great way to backlink is to create new testimonial videos on a regular basis. You can upload them to different video sharing sites on the internet. Simply put your website in the description, and when your video is accepted, you get another backlink. Like I mentioned earlier, you should also share these on your social sites like Facebook. You can use both of these strategies to get citations as well, because you need to keep getting citations and the backlinks as long as you want to stay ranked. You need to keep out getting votes for those rankings to stay high. If your competitor gets more votes, they bump you out of that top spot. So let me back up for just a moment here, because here's what I felt was very difficult for a lot of small business owners. They'd go out and attend webinars, they would go to trainings, they'd fly into weekend seminars, and they'd learn all this really good stuff. And when they get home, it's like a box full of puzzle pieces. So they go and they get a piece from a webinar, and a different piece from a different training or seminar, and they try to put it all together. And it's more difficult than they imagine. They're always missing something and never had the complete picture of the puzzle. And for some of you, you've never seen a picture on a box of what your online marketing should look like for your business. And for the first time, that's what I'm showing you right now. This screen is exactly what the picture of your online marketing should look like. Do this and you'll dominate your area online. You'll dominate the top of Google Plus Local no matter where you are, no matter what city you're in, no matter what state you're in. You'll rank your website, your videos, and your directories at the top of Google. We're just giving Google a first-class content experience. Is this making sense to you? This is the power of Google Plus Local, and no one is doing it right now. So now you know how to rank at the top of Google Plus Local. But let me share a little secret with you. My private clients, they don't pay me to get them ranked at the top of Google Plus Local, because there's a difference between ranking and converting. I mentioned this a minute ago. You can get ranked at the top and no one will actually pick up the phone and call you. That's what my private clients pay for. They pay for their phone to ring. I grabbed one of my clients' phone tracking for a month, and this is a business in a city of about 225,000 people. Look at this, 91 phone calls. 91 new calls in 1 month from Google Plus Local marketing strategies I just showed you. But don't let this fool you, because phone calls can be deceiving too. So just look at this. The average call duration is 1.9 minutes. That's almost 2 minutes. Those are actual people on the phone with his receptionist scheduling an appointment. They're on the phone with him an average of 1.9 minutes. And here's a picture of his last 3 months. 338 phone calls from the strategies we just went through. Let me remind you again. These calls are only calls from Google Plus local marketing we do for this client. These calls are coming through his private tracking number. These aren't calls to his normal office number. Here's another office. This office is in a much smaller city of only 55,000 people. He got 70 new prospect phone calls in 1 month from these strategies. Here's a picture of his last 3 months. 181 phone calls from the online marketing strategies I just showed you. Most business owners wouldn't know what to do with that many phone calls. Let me give you a little disclaimer. This is a well-established account. Don't think you'll get 50 to 100 phone calls in your first month. These strategies take some time to implement correctly. Don't ever let anyone try and slam you to the top of Google. It's the fastest way to get blacklisted by Google. So you need to get ranked first. You need to make sure your Google Plus page, your website, your directories, your videos, you need to make sure they actually convert and get your prospective clients to pick up the phone and call you. That's your online strategy. So at this point, you have 4 choices. You can tell me you're not going to do any of this. Leave the training and go on about your day. Do nothing. Nothing will change. Your choice. You can do it all yourself. Personally, I don't think that's the best use of your time. You're looking at about 10 to 12 hours per week to get everything done, not to mention the costs associated with it. I don't think you'd enjoy some of the learning curve that comes with it or keeping up with the monthly changes on Google. Number 3, you can find some outsourcers through Elance, Odesk, or Fiverr and manage the day-to-day of all these strategies getting done. It's better than options 1 and 2, but I think you get awfully tired of managing half a dozen outsourcers and making sure that they're following your instructions correctly, all while running your business and managing your staff. And don't get me wrong, you can do all the stuff that I do. There's nothing magical about what I do. You're highly educated if you want to learn this stuff and do it. You certainly can. Here's the difference. I do this every day for a living. I've been doing this since the inception of Google Maps. I've been through the transition to Google Places. I've also been through the transition to Google Plus Local, and now moving on to Google Places for Business. I also don't have to take care of customers. I don't have to deal with staff on a day-to-day. This is what I do. And that brings me to option 4. You can put your Google Plus Local building business in my hands with the new customer blueprint and have me do it all for you. To be honest, I think that's your best option. Not because I get paid. I just think the best use of your time is servicing your customers, not creating videos and pictures, not managing online directories, not creating citations each week, not trying to get quality and relevant backlinks each and every week, and certainly not trying to keep up with the changes Google and the online space go through every single month. So if you're saying to yourself, I know I need to get this done. I know I need this virtual endorsement from Google if I want to survive in the online world. But I really don't want to spend my free time doing online marketing. I'd rather have Matt Barron do it for me so I know it's getting done correctly and so I can spend more time with my family, my hobbies, and my friends. Let me tell you what I do for my new customer blueprint members. Then I'll make this a no-brainer for you. So here's what I do for my clients and what I'll do for you when you become a member of the new customer blueprint. I'm also going to tell you about some ridiculous bonuses I have for those of you that are ready to take action and get started today. I like action takers, and I reward them for pulling the trigger on an opportunity. Create it, or I claim it. And then I'll optimize it for your top keywords. I'll handle your keyword research and competitive analysis. Like I mentioned early on, this is the foundation of getting qualified customers. If you get this part wrong, all the other stuff will be time wasted, and you'll be showing up in Google for keywords that don't even get the search you're looking for, or you won't show up at all. I handle your citations. Remember how I told you that a citation is like a vote for your Google Plus local listing? I'll get you new votes on a monthly basis so that you stay ahead of your competitor. Even if it's not an election year, you still need votes. I'll handle all your picture marketing, each one perfectly optimized for your top keywords. I'll optimize your videos. Videos are a phenomenal way to give your Google Plus local listing authority with Google. Remember, Google owns YouTube, so having 5 optimized videos in your listing increases your ranking. I even create and optimize a YouTube channel for you if you don't have one. If you do have one, I'll review it and optimize it for you. Remember your reviews? With the new customer blueprint, you can simply get video reviews in your office and send them to me. I'll use them in your video marketing, you need them in your website, you need them throughout your online marketing. They'll be the #1 item for getting prospective customers to choose you. I'll use my proprietary process and systems to post them so they actually stay posted and don't get marked as spam or removed by Google. Maybe you've had legitimate reviews get removed already. How about your website? I'll take your current website and optimize for rankings, and I'll optimize it for conversions. Both are vitally important. And let me be real honest here, there's only so much I can do with some of the canned sites that are out there. If your site really sucks, I'm going to let you know, and I'm going to create something new for you. There's no sense spending money with me if your website is bad. You're wasting money every single day with a non-converting site. You'll also get my custom safe linking service included as well. Your directories, videos, and pages are backlinked gradually over months instead of all created immediately, so you don't get banned by Google. Remember, don't ever let anyone try and smash you straight to the top. It may work short term, but it's not a safe practice if you want to stay long term. And probably the most important aspect of this entire package, you'll get monthly reporting from me. I want you to hold me accountable. The monthly reporting will have a number of statistics, including ranking reports and traffic reports. It's not a guessing game. I track it all for you so you know it's actually getting done and it's working. And it's really hard to put everything you get on a video slide. Take a look at the detail of all the things my team does behind the scenes. This is the checklist I have set up for my team. It's ridiculously detailed and thorough. The new Customer Blueprint program does everything to keep your phone ringing month after month. And when the online space changes, just like it did, I change with it. I make it so you never have to worry about keeping up with what's happening and what's changing. I make it so you can run your business and go home, enjoy your family, your friends, and your hobbies. So if you're thinking the best use of your time is running a profitable business, and you're saying, this is exactly what I need, if you want to dominate your area and push your competitor down the list, you need to click on the button below right now. I only take a handful of new clients each month, and for obvious reasons, I only take one client per industry, per city. Comes, how much is this all going to cost me? It sounds like a lot of stuff. And you're right, it is a lot of stuff, and it's very labor intensive to set up. So let's take a look at your investment. And this has been a major challenge for me coming up with some pricing that's right for you and right for me. You have to understand that I need to make a profit if I'm going to be putting in the time. It's no different than you setting fees for your customers. If you want to be fair and competitive, but you know what you're worth, and I know what I'm worth. So here's what I came up with, so that even if the economy has knocked you down a bit in the past few years, you can still fit this into your budget. And really, one way or another, you can't afford not to put these strategies into place. You might as well get them done quickly and correctly so you can start getting new clients sooner rather than later. In the past, I charged a $39.97 setup fee and a $24.97 per month fee for the new Customer Blueprint. I realized that pricing was just fine for a business that's doing okay already. They see a big return on investment. But for the entrepreneurs that are struggling right now, it's a big stretch. A lot don't even have that much available on their credit card. So I did something drastic. I completely eliminated the setup fee. No worries about coming up with $4,000 to get started. I also drastically slashed the monthly fee as well. How's that for fair? I'm doing the exact opposite of every other so-called online marketing company. I want to make it so you have no choice but to get started today. Your investment for the first month is only $14.97. I told you it was ridiculous. And after the first month, it's still only $14.97 a month. That makes it doable for every business. It also makes it really profitable for your business. Now do the math on the examples I showed you of a couple of my members getting 60 to 100 calls a month. Their monthly investment is pretty cheap, isn't it? If I only get you 10 calls a month, you'll still be putting a lot of money in your pocket. And that's what I want you to really think about. I don't want you to think about 100 calls a month. I want you to ask yourself, would it be more than worth it if I only got 10 new customers a month? You can simply get started today for only $14.97. No $4,000 setup fee, and $1,000 off my normal monthly fee. Simply click the button below and it will take you to a short order form. From there, you'll be up and running in about 5 to 7 business days, well on your way to dominating your competitor. And let's talk about my guarantee for a minute. Everyone wants a guarantee, no one wants any risk. And I've seen some of the other guys' guarantees. I saw one that said you can get a refund in the first 30 days. Why even bother? If you think you're going to see the full benefit of the first 30 days, you're crazy. I'm just being honest with you. I don't want you to be disappointed. This is a long-term strategy to dominating your local market. It's not a game of patty cake, and you can't expect it to happen overnight. And that may not be right for everyone. If it's not for you, that's okay. Someone else can promise you amazing rankings in the first week. I can promise you one thing. You won't find another person or company out there that can offer what I do with my new Customer Blueprint. So here's my guarantee. Everyone has different expectations, but if after 6 months of service you just aren't happy, I'll continue working for free until you are happy. You heard that right. It's up to you to tell me if you're happy. If you get 10 new customers a month, I know you'll be happy. If you get 20 new customers a month, I know you'll be happy. But if you're not, I'll work for free until you are. So, if you know you're ready, simply click on the button below to grab your spot. Now let's talk about some fast action bonuses. These bonuses are only good for you if you get started within the next 24 hours. Do your due diligence and get all your questions answered right away so you can make a good choice and get the bonuses. Bonus number 1. I will do regular posting to your Facebook page and get you more fans and customers from Facebook. Regular posting on your fan page is a great way to keep your fans engaged and returning to your business. I'll do it all for you. Bonus number 2. I will optimize your Facebook fan page to provide the best retention experience for your current customers. Customer retention is a vital part of your business, and one of the best ways to keep them engaged and coming back to you is through communicating with them on Facebook. Click on the button below to grab your spot. And you know what? I want to give you a peek at something. I've got some software that I use for my customers. It does a competitive analysis and tells me who's winning in your city. This really gives me an advantage over your competition. I just did a competitive analysis for roofers in Chicago, Illinois. That's where I currently live. Take a look at what this software does. It shows me the top listings in Google Plus local for roofers. But that's nothing, right? You can do that by searching in Google. Here's what it really does. It does the competitive research about your top competitors. And if I know what they're doing, all I have to do is a little bit more than them, and I win. I can practically plug your business in here against your competitor and see where it is, see where it's lagging, and I simply do more in those areas to get ahead of your competitor. It's a real unfair advantage. And here's the kind of stuff it shows me. It shows me the citations going on for each business that's ranked on Google Plus Local. It shows me Google reviews. It shows me the various images in each particular listing. Also shows me if you verified your listing or not and what categories your competitors are ranking in. I can simply beat your competitors, even in the biggest cities, because I know what they have, and then I simply do more. This is cool stuff. I get excited about this. I can see side by side what your listing is doing compared to theirs. Now, do you see why I can dominate? Okay, if you want to grab new customers every single week with a virtual endorsement from Google, and you want me to do all the work for you with the new customer blueprint, all for the small investment of $14.97 per month, click on the link below to get started. Do it before your competitor does and locks you out, so you have the chance to lock them out. Alright, that's all I got. If you have questions, you can email me at matt@newcustomerblueprint.com, or you can give me a call at 312-576-2633. I hope you get a tremendous amount of value from this training. Just remember, don't be one of the 80% that walks away and does nothing. Either click the link below or get busy and put the required time into getting this done. I suggest you click the link below, do it before your competitor, and make sure you get started within the next 24 hours to get the bonuses worth over $500 every single month. The bonuses alone will make you more profitable. Talk to you soon.